Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tia, aka Teacup Simmer, and this is our very first massive speed build for my new LP, the Four Immortal Siblings. And if I'm pretty sure that this video should be coming out at least, if not around the same time, or if not exactly on the same day as the first episode of our Four Immortal Siblings LP. I'm super excited about it, you guys. It's my first try at like revamping a challenge, and I'm kind of like antsy in regards to like whether or not it'll work or whether or not people are actually going to try it. But I did want to make like their own custom house for the siblings, and I know if it'll probably be explained a lot better than in the first episode of the challenge, but mostly the Four Immortal Siblings challenge that I kind of revamped, and I'll leave a link to in the description box below of the rules that I revamped and the original rules for the challenge, which the original rules were based off of the Sims 3, I'm not sure if it goes back farther than that, Sims 3 version of the Four Immortal Sisters challenge, which is based around keeping 4 Sims immortal and like by drinking cow plant milk and having like a bunch of kids. And it's gone from Sims 3 to Sims 4, and I was introduced to it in Sims 4 and I thought it was really cool, and I always wanted to play it, and I messed around with it at one point, but I never did it on the channel. And then when vampires came out, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do it. This is like fate. I have to have it in Sims 4, and I have to do it with vampires because vampires are already immortal. They don't die. They don't worry about any of that. So the idea would be just to populate the world with vampires. And so I'm gonna explain it a little bit better in the actual episode 1 with our trailer and everything like that. But the way that the Four Immortal Sisters challenge went, a lot of simmers would make like separate areas for the sisters, so they would have like different houses, and they put them on like a huge lot, probably in like Willow Creek, and they would have them all in like 4 different buildings, or in like 4 different rooms or things like that. And I never liked the building idea. Like I tried it at one point, but it separates everything too much. It doesn't feel like family to me, so I decided to make it they were all in the same house. But when I originally did a build for them, I did it like each sibling had a floor, and I don't have enough time to be building that big, but I didn't think that actually worked out well either, considering that now that we have toddlers, and that's also a reason why I wanted to do this challenge. Now we have toddlers, but now that we have toddlers and toddlers can't go upstairs, you wanted to keep everything that's related to them all in one area. And so I kind of like mixed things around and kind of played with it so that they'd have 2 floors, and each sibling would have their own room and their own section, and it would match up with the rules of the challenge. And I have the rules. Oh my gosh, I can't believe didn't have these open, but I have the rules, and I kind of based my design off of this idea that each sibling would have a section, and then that section was kind of based around their personality and the requirements for the challenge. But the actual look of the house, I took a lot of inspiration from a few different places. I was looking around because if you guys watch this channel at all, you know I'm not really great at building. I like making things pretty, but I'm not that great at actually like putting things together so that they like work in a cohesive manner. Like they never actually, like I always have to base it off of something. And so I had like a template, kind of like I was working off of this weird like new gothic like house that I was looking at, but I ended up making a lot of massive edits to it. Like it didn't look the same by the time I'm done. Like the silhouette at the back and the front look similar, but like I end up massively changing like a bunch of sections because they don't work. But I was really happy with this build just because it's my first massive build, and my first try at making like a greenhouse. And like, oh yes, the greenhouse is like and I'm trying to remember if I haven't added that in yet, but the greenhouse is like my favorite part. Like, it's the one thing that I was super happy about, because I was trying so hard to get it right, and it totally worked out. And you guys will see it sooner, like a little bit. I'm trying to find the top part, the part that's like all glass that would go on top of that. I don't know if I've found it by now, but right now I'm just trying to work on like painting and getting all the paints right, and making sure that the build looks like actually like a house, and trying to find that mix of like paneling and stone that actually looks good. And like I said, I'm super proud of this build, you guys, because I don't do builds like this. I don't do massive things. I don't do ones that actually look like they could be put together in actually look like a house. Half the time my builds look like, oh yeah, she slapped a roof on a square. Yeah, that's pretty much how they always look. Or like I'm like attempting to like incorporate some other different styles that don't necessarily go together. But I'm gonna end up splitting this build into 2 parts, because it takes like such a long time for this thing to go through. Like, I'm not a fast builder, you guys. I legit spent a few different hours on this build. Like, it was bad. I would leave and then start over and then come back. Like, doing the entire outside took I don't know how many hours, like over 6 hours to do this build. And that's kind of ridiculous, because I've seen Soph Sims do like a build like this and like in all of it, including the interior, in less than 6 hours. So I have absolutely no excuse. But I really wanted to do this and try it and see if I could make the house look good, and it looks so nice. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm super proud of this build, you guys. But I ended up putting everything, I think I put all the screenshots at the end, because the way that everything is set up, that I spent a ton of time on the interior as well as the exterior. Like, everything is just slow. I just did too much. I did a lot. And you guys can see that I finally perfected that greenhouse in the corner. And when you see the interior, like you can see where I like designate specific areas for each sibling. And I'm gonna end up explaining a lot of how the different required items work in the next part, because I'm gonna make this part 1, and then I'm gonna make the part 2 the part where I actually like do the work on the inside. But I was really happy with how this worked. Like, I didn't know how like I would incorporate all of the different swatches and stuff from the new pack, because I absolutely love the new vampire pack. And I know I'm probably leaving a lot out, you guys, because it's like, well, Tia, what are you doing this for? Why is it taking you so long? I don't understand. And I usually do these like voiceovers like on the fly. I'm not really thinking much about it. But oh yeah, I didn't like this part at all. Like, this part is when I'm trying to add like a little bit of a patio to the back of that part of the greenhouse, and it's not working. Like, it's not letting me do it. It tries to add a freeze to it, and I don't want it to do that. Like, I don't want it there. So I end up taking the door out and then just making it like just a small greenhouse glass area. Like, it just stays that way. Like, I just take the door away and add the extra window, and it's just a small like glass area. And I think it looks really cute, kind of like it was like tacked on, but it also looks like it's still part of the house, which is appreciated. I don't do a lot of like changing up the walls or adding any of like the wallpaper or anything like that. Like, everything where I did ends up being like, okay, I designate this specific part for this sibling or this sibling. And a lot of the changes that I made to the actual challenge, the Immortal Sisters challenge, are gonna be explained in episode 1. So I'll definitely link that on the card and on the video and in the description box. I'll also leave a link to part 2 in the bottom, so that you guys can access that and see how I made all of the different all the different sibling areas. A lot of it gets cut out though, because I was trying to, like, for some reason, I think it's because it took so dang long for me to record this. I was trying to record it all, and I think my external hard drive was just like, no, I'm not doing it, I quit. So my external hard drive decided to not work for long periods of time, so it would just decide while I'm trying to record and build something to just cut out, and so my recording would stop, and I'd still be in the game and everything, but Fraps would just not work anymore. And so I was just kind of like, well, thank you for that. That's definitely what I needed. I needed you to do that so that I would just have to spend more time trying to fix it. So I ended up having to go in and out of game multiple times just to finish the build and figure out how everything was going to work. A lot of the way that the build is that it looks super funky, partially because, like, of the way the outside of the build was set up. I didn't know how to incorporate so many different rooms. Like, I think the build ends up having 6 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. Like, that's the overall amount that it's supposed to have, and I wasn't quite sure how I was going to go about doing that. I kept trying to widen the entrance so that it wouldn't be just like a one-way, okay, this is a one-way entrance for all the Sims, so that nobody would get crowded. But I also was trying to, like, do this weird balcony thing so you could look down. I'd never tried it before. I think I ended up taking off the roof to the bathroom. But it ended up working out pretty well, and you could see I just added in the railing. But I think I'm going to end it around here, because I think it ends around this part just because I start working on the Fire Siblings room, and when I start doing decor, it's pretty much when I decided to start part 2. So if you guys enjoyed this first part, please leave a like, and if you enjoy or excited about doing this new LP with me, please leave a like and subscribe, let people know, share the video, all that jazz, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.